So markets are dumping, trading sideways. We've been expecting all the deviations, been sharing it on my channel, just pretty much with the high time frames around Bitcoin, Ethereum, and overall Bitcoin dominance is already breaking back above that 60% zone, which we've been anticipating. And right now, everyone in the crypto markets are getting wrecked. And one of the most scary things that, a lot of people have been seeing is that everyone's saying that Bitcoin has already topped, that we've already seen the peak for Bitcoin, and that more than likely we're going to be seeing a lot of liquidations. I've been seeing a lot of videos from, a lot of big YouTubers talking about exactly how more than likely this is already the end. And anyone that's saying that altcoin season is going to happen is lying to their audience. And since I have a small audience, I want to be completely truthful with y'all and just let you know my perspective on exactly if I think that we peaked for the markets already and if, altcoin season is going to be even happening. But before we do that, if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content. I keep y'all updated on the day-to-day events, price action around Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and everything you need to be aware of. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, go watch yesterday's video. Broke down exactly what's happening in the markets, the deviations that are taking place, what we were expecting, and exactly what happened. And right now, everything is still just trading sideways, dumping. And the biggest thing that everyone is scared about is, should they be investing in altcoins, and are altcoins going to be getting the liquidity that they need so that altcoin season can happen, like what we saw with the total 3E chart in previous cycles. And the biggest thing I want to let you guys know is that it's going to be completely different. One thing that everyone always talked about was the 4-year cycle. And this is pretty much a consecutive point in terms of how the markets perform in specific times with Bitcoin halvings and a few other different things that happen throughout an actual cycle. But this cycle is completely different. We have ETFs, we have government institutions, allocating to Bitcoin. We have all these different moving parts. And I think one of the biggest things that a lot of people aren't anticipating is the fact that we have a whole bunch of sectors that are going to explode, mainly being AI and, in my opinion, memes and RWA, because this is going to be the digitalization of the 21st century. Everybody's going to slowly move into tokenomics. We're going to be seeing digital assets being utilized across multiple different sectors, but most people can't see that right now. Everyone's getting so caught up in the price action. And this is why I like keeping up with people that have been in the space longer than me. But one of the biggest things that I noticed when it comes to big influencers and coals on the channel is that since they're preaching to a huge audience, they are very conservative with their perspectives. And sometimes they even tell you that they don't think anything's going to happen because they don't want to hold on to all that pressure and say that something is going to happen. It doesn't. And then you get shreked. At the end of the day, the markets reward the patient. This is why, people like Warren Buffett always, and there goes my light. All right, we're back. Booth light giving me some problems, need to replace it. But people like Warren Buffett pretty much talk about exactly how the markets reward the patient and how money moves out of the hands of the impatient individuals that are trying to play the markets but don't know what they're doing into the hands of the individuals that do know what they're doing. And this is why I've been preaching that you need to invest into specific assets. Not every single altcoin is going to explode. And in previous cycles, that's what we saw, which is why a lot of influencers and coals are saying that more than likely they feel like Bitcoin has already peaked. I think it's a completely different cycle. We're going to be seeing assets blowing up at different times. Kind of what we saw back in 2024, whenever memes were blowing up, AI coins weren't getting all the love and neither was gaming or RWA. And at certain times, we saw certain coins pumping based off of exactly what narrative was being pushed at the time. So right now, I think there's a lot of people that are telling you that the top is probably in for Bitcoin. Some people are teeter-tottering because they still believe in altcoin season. But like how I said, everyone is holding on to their reputation right now. Me, I'm a small YouTuber. I honestly don't have anything to lose. I have a crypto portfolio and it's been dumping. And honestly, right now, with the expectations around more deviations, I'm honestly dollar cost averaging into my positions. Why am I doing that? Because specific altcoins, guys, are actually going to be, exploding, going to be making actual crazy gains because of the actual technology that they're bringing into the Web3 space. Anything that isn't relevant, like there was a recent coin that pretty much failed, and this was a huge coin, a very huge coin, which was a blockchain, and they pretty much just failed. And at the end of the day, there's going to be multiple blockchains. Not every blockchain is going to be utilized, and this is why you got to ask yourself, why am I investing into the coin that I'm investing in? Does it actually offer value to individuals in the crypto space? Is it bringing a technology that's going to be different than all the other actual projects that are trying to build in the space? Do they have an edge? What exactly does that look like? And what are the red flags? That's why in my crypto portfolio, I'm investing in assets that are really focused on the future of not only Web3 assets, but also the idea of crypto mining, passive rewards, and multiple other different things. Also going into DePIN software and a lot of other different perspectives that I'm invested in. So this is where if you're not investing in the right altcoins, you're gonna get shreked. You're gonna just not really make it because you're investing in coins that have probably already seen their run in previous cycles. And as a result, you're trying to relive something that is already dead. And as a result, you're gonna be left holding the bag. We've already seen this for multiple different assets across the market. And I wanted to make a video just to be completely real with y'all on the idea of if altcoin season's even gonna happen and if we peaked in the markets. Do I believe that? No. I believe that Bitcoin is still going to be seeing another rally. I think that, moving into the next year, we're going to be seeing a lot of different fluctuations whenever tax season is going to be happening. There's going to be a lot of different moving parts, seeing exactly how the Fed is going to be battling inflation moving into 2026. And overall, what is going to be happening? No one knows what's going to be happening. That's why everyone just throws out, percentages and perspectives and charts and all these other different things, but they're basing it off of previous cycles. No one truly knows what the potential is going to be behind Bitcoin or Ethereum in terms of that new all-time high and what they're going to actually peak at in this 2025-2026 cycle. I'm going to go ahead and put my name on the line and go ahead and just say that I believe that Bitcoin's still going to break 125,000. I'm sure we're probably going to see at least a 130 and 140,000 Bitcoin before we start to see liquidity shift. And I could see Ethereum breaking that 5,000 region and overall shooting that liquidity back into altcoins. Now, is it going to go into all altcoins? No. And is, Bitcoin and Ethereum just going to have that quick rally automatically? Potentially, we could see it, but don't expect it. The markets are moving in such a weird way. We're seeing so much manipulation in the markets. People are getting liquidated on a consecutive basis, which is why it is super important to be keeping up with the day-to-day. And on my channel, that's exactly what we do. So if you're new to my channel, go and check out the rest of my content. I keep you guys updated on the day-to-day events, price action around Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and everything you need to be aware of. I also drop videos like this where I'm just being completely real with you, and I want to let you know exactly my perspective, what I'm seeing in the market, and what you should really take from it. I think a lot of people are, front running the markets. A lot of people are super bullish whenever they shouldn't be completely bullish. They should still anticipate downward deviations. And then there's some people that just have no hope. So if you're one of those people, ask yourself why. If you're skeptical about the assets you're investing in, start to dissect the projects. Are they actually something that's worth investing in? Is it actually going to be bringing change into the space? Or is it just another fiasco that's going to be here to drain money from the markets? This is super important to anticipate, which is why I recommend you look at that crypto portfolio of yours and really determine what you think is a good investment. If you guys have any questions, drop it down below. I'm not a financial advisor by any means. This is all just for fun purposes and just to entertain you. But overall, if you guys have any questions or want to get my perspective around a specific asset, drop it down below. I'll be sure to let you know exactly my perspective. Be safe out there. Expect volatility. We have some key news events that are going to be happening, wrapping up the week on Thursday and Friday. I'm going to be dropping a market update tomorrow. I just wanted to give you guys my perspective on, everyone saying that the market has already peaked, altcoin season is not going to happen, and that overall everything is dead. I do not believe that's going to happen. I believe we're going to be seeing an altcoin season. It's just going to look much different than previous altcoin seasons. Certain assets are going to be, getting all that liquidity. Does that mean that memes can't blow up? No, that does not mean that. That just means the right meme coins are going to be blowing up, the right AI coins, the right RWA coins, the right gaming coins. All this, guys, is super important to anticipate. All right, I'm going to wrap up right here. Stay tuned. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, drop them down below. Do not capitulate your bags. Expect volatility, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.